Hi, Kount. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are things at your end?
That's good. It's been good. We hit 1 lakh subscription value yesterday. I mean, actually, I posted something about 95K, and in the next 2 hours, it hit one lakh. So it's been a good start for Kawasaki. It's been a great start for Kawasaki. None of us expected it to go this big, and it has also brought with it some problems along with it. Obviously, when you go big a lot earlier than you plan to, it comes with its own set of challenges as well. But the kind of challenges that you love to have.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
So, so for the ones who have seen and hearing about the covers of subscription pack, so you just have to download this app called Preseason, and then there are a lot of free channels. In fact, Al himself has a free channel you can join. There is
Yeah.
also paid subscription channels. Covers off is the leading paid subscription channel now, and you could
Yeah.
subscribe to it. And once the user subscribes to it, what does he get, Al? If you can tell us that shortly.
So basically, if you subscribe to Callsoft, what you get is 30 days of complete BBL daily fantasy and sports betting support. And then in addition to it, you'll also get SYT 20 team and venue packs, the same kind that we distributed for the BBL, which is now on sale in Covers of Surge. So BBL is done on the normal channel. So if you have to reactivate them, you'll have to go to Covers of Surge. It has also hit 50 subscribers today. But in this plan currently, what you'll get is daily fantasy support and SA T20 team and venue packs for 30 days.
All right. And after 30 days, if I also want Emirates T20, do I have to renew my subscription at preseason?
Yeah, we have already started getting our second month subscriptions, considering it's a 38th day for us. Yesterday was a 38th day for us. So our subscribers who started from November 17 have already started resubscribing. It's a normal process. You just have to pay it again and subscribe. A simple one.
Interesting. So it's so easy to download the app and get that subscription of covers off. So that's
Yeah.
good to know. So yesterday it was, I thought Perth Scotches may not even play out their 20 overs. So that was the biggest threat at that point.
Yeah. But as we have seen with Optus, even during the World Cup, the second 10 overs, literally everything changes on its head.
Yeah. They all had to kind of play their 20 overs, get as close as possible to the par score.
Yeah.
And it's so, the win ratio is so polarized towards team batting first.
Yeah.
Even they struggle to get 155 still, the chasing team could not even get close. So it's very characteristic of Optus.
Yeah.
So, so talking on the stadium part, we're going to see a game in a new stadium, Docklands. So tell us more about Dockland Stadium. So let me bring that up on the covers of pack. So here it is. Let me bring it up on the stream. Yeah, here it is. Information on the Dockland Stadium in Melbourne.
So Dockland is basically something that has short boundaries. You can refer to it. We have covered this in detail in our team and venue packs. You could refer to us in venue pack 2. We'll have a lot more details on this and venue pack 1 as well. So the thing with Docklands is we have two different scenarios, and this is one of the trickiest venues going into the BBL fantasy players and punters as well, because we do not know which version of Docklands is going to turn up. 2018 and 19, it was more of a bowling friendly venue where you get 140 and 150. You can win using spinners and change of pace and everything. But post 2019, it transformed into a venue where batters started getting a lot of runs. In the last couple of years, the average first inning score is at something around 170. So you'll have to be careful. You'll have to watch the first overs and first 2 to 3 overs and see what kind of pitch it is before you make some kind of bets or anything. For fantasy players, there is no choice since you'll have to get into the match before it starts. So the trick that you have for this game is rely on leg spinners and express quicks. And it's something that's for this match. Both the teams do not have a leg spinner. They don't have a express quick as well. So it's really unfortunate. These are the two bowling types that have been successful at the venue throughout the phases, even when it was low scoring and even when it has been high scoring. And the general nature of the deck is that as the match progresses, the second innings gets more and more difficult, which is why you see 58% of teams that bat first winning. This has not also changed in the last couple of years as well. It has remained same throughout the last 5 years.
So almost a 60-40 for the teams batting first.
Yeah.
So you're right. Both the teams do not have leg spin option or express pace, and this is how
Mm.
the matchups look today. So why don't you talk
Mm.
us through about the matchups?
I mean, it immediately highlights up the Melbourne Renegades batting innings. You can see that they all have red against right arm new ball pace, which brings Gurinder Sandhu into play, and it is also as a result of it that he's one of the best picks in play today. And Nick Maddinson is someone who has got a lot of red against. We'll have to be careful not to fall for the recency bias because historically his record has not been that good. And today he'll have a lot of threats. He'll have a right arm new ball threat. He'll have a left arm new ball threat. Sandhu and Faruqi have been exceptional with the new ball throughout in the last couple of matches, and they've in general been good new ball bowlers as well. And if he escapes them, then he'll also have to handle Chris Green, which is another red on the right side of the screen. So there are a lot of problems for him today. And for Harper, as far as Harper is concerned, if he gets through the new ball spell, expect a lot of runs from him. So that's a key wicket keeping choice today. And if you go down the order, then Aaron Finch, John Wells, and Andre Russell. This is something we have discussed in detail in the pack. How well these three play today will determine how far Melbourne Renegades go because they mostly have favorable matchups. The opposition doesn't have a slow left arm spin. The opposition doesn't have a wrist spinner. The opposition doesn't have the express pace as well. So all of these three come into play big time. And if you look at Sydney Thunder is a star-studded side. It has star batters, Riley Rossov and Alex Hills. But the problem with them is that not a lot of them are in form. If you look at the team sheet, it will show us three reds lined, and that's why all of them are in yellow. If they are in good form, a lot of these yellow would have turned into green. Since they are not in good form, we have reduced their skill set for the game. I mean, in a way that it suits their form and ground as well. All of these numbers are adjusted to their current form, venue, and opposition.
Yeah. So obviously, talking about Sydney Thunders, you need to talk about what happened in the last game. They were all out for 15 runs. They came up against the pace of Taunton, but they don't have such a threat in this game.
Yeah, that's one thing that will be a relief for them, considering the Tom Rogers is someone who can replicate that kind of a threat. But in the last match, based on how he bowled in the last match, it was very ordinary. It was an ordinary spell. It was one of the ordinary spells I've seen from him in the last couple of years. So maybe his form could play a crucial role today. But apart from him, it's mostly gentle pace in the opposition bowling unit.
Yeah, and they didn't, had to face Rashid Khan. But how well will this batting, play against Mujib today?
It's going to be difficult because Mujib too had a off day last game. It's not something you don't normally see him be that expensive, except for the he bowled a series of dot balls towards his end of the spell, but generally it was an ordinary day for him and it's expensive. And Mujib and Akil Hussain together they form a potent new ball duo, and it's going to be a big challenge for all of these players today. Riley Rossov,
Yeah,
which is why Riley Rossov hitting form is very important for Sydney Thunder.
yeah, with this ground and not having extra space today could be a day Riley could come up with a big score.
Yeah.
And Akil is a quality, slow left arm spinner. Watching some of his highlights today, he's able to, bowl very defensively, not give many wickets, and then if the batsman tries to charge him, immediately he comes up with a heap of wickets.
Yeah, I mean he's been with T20 superstars in Pollard, Narain, and Bravo all his career, and he seems like someone of something like a late bloomer. But in the last couple of years, he's 29 now. He's come along really well, and we are yet to see his batting value kick in. Today is a good day for that to come into play as well, which makes him a top captaincy option as well.
Yeah, because among wickets, look at this average first 5 wickets apiece, 5 runs a wicket, 3 for 15. We had a great spell. Helped Renegades actually win the game
Yeah,
against Bill
I mean
Leeds.
they didn't have a really high score on the board, so it's important that they got early breakthroughs, which Achilles and did it for them by dismissing both the openers.
Yeah. So last game, Madison looked good. I mean, I was like, making a joke that as a good-looking left-hander, no bun intended.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Madison, if someone, the way he started off, he's a lot reminiscent of David Warner, but over the years, he has changed his technique and he has changed his style to suit first class cricket. And it has been a struggle for him in the last 3 to 4 years. But it was good to see him bat well last game. It reminded of his old days.
yeah, he looked very fluent in being the captain and wickets falling at the other end. In fact, once there was a wind that blew out the bails, and he thought he
Mm,
was out, and he was walking
yeah.
away in his 40s. And then he came back, and without any nerves, he just settled back down and continued to play well. So, what are
Yeah.
his fantasy options and betting options on Madison today?
This is the thing that we are banking on heavily today because Madison has a couple of high class new ball bowlers to contend with in Gurinder Sandhu and Fazal Faruqi. And that's one thing that we're banking on. The other thing is that you'll also have to deal with the off spin of Chris Green. So the opposition has three different counters to get rid of him, and we are going on. We have put this out prediction to our subscribers on preseason, and it is unders on Madison's run line, which is at under 22.5 runs, and the odds are at 1.83, I guess.
Yeah, you just gave me that betting call, and he said the number of runs scored could drop because of Bet365's competitor already dropped it. But I was very shocked when he gave me the betting call because just the last game he played big one, and
Yeah.
today the betting call is that he'll score under 22.5 runs. So is that any weakness he has against Govinder Sandhu and Fazal Farooqi type of bowling?
Yeah, but it's because we expect the deck to be something that's not easy, straightforward for batting. It's been a long time since any match has been played here, so that's one thing. And the other thing is that even if he escapes the quality new ball pace duo of Sandhu and Faruqi, he'll have to deal with Chris Green, who is one of the best bowlers in the Australian domestic circuit against left-handers.
Yeah, he bowls a real tight line and length.
Yeah,
So also Docklands has a history of assisting new ball seamers. So if Melbourne Renegades were to put into bat, I don't know, given the ratio, the team batting, winning the toss might want to bat first. And if that is the case, there could be a chance that Sandhu and Faruqi could be among wickets quite early.
yeah.
So that kind of puts the focus back on Aaron Finch. So talk to us about his fantasy options today.
I think that we have discussed this in detail. The thing for Melbourne Renegades is that if Sandhu and Fazal Faruqi do what they're known for, then there will be a lot of pressure on the middle order of Finch, Wells, and Russell to deliver. And the opposition, they are also matched up well against the opposition's bowling unit. So I think Finch could be in for a good day. Finch and Wells as well, because Russell has some issues. I mean, he could be bounced out by someone like Brendan Doggett, for example, or even Fazal like Faruqi. But Wells and Finch are the two key batting options in the Renegades batting unit today.
Yeah, Russell, even in that last game, which was a very slow wicket, anything, short of length aimed at his body seems to have to back away too much
Yeah,
to be able to produce contact with the ball, with
yeah.
the bat.
Mm,
But with Akil Hussain and Mujib, probably it's his type of bowling he wants to dominate.
mm. But in this case, although they are playing for the same team, the opposition has, I think, Chris Green. Yeah,
I meant Chris Green, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mm. He'd
So we
love to
just
have.
talk about the Chris Green kind of a bowling he might prefer because
Exactly.
the boundaries are not too big at Docklands.
Yeah.
So let's look at the other notes. Something if you want to talk through, we already discussed about Finch, Wells, and Russell could do well against the opposition's bowling attack. So let's look
Mm,
at the Sydney Thunder sheet.
mm.
Um, so Riley Russell again, talking about, because both Hales and Matthew, they are not in the greatest of the forms. And if Sydney
Yeah.
Thunders were to bat first, the same thing could happen. The middle order could get exposed too quickly in this game as well.
Yeah, Hills showed some signs of finding his form in the first game, but he has mainly been encountered with difficult batting conditions and top class bowling units. So this is something we are expecting again to happen today. And if that happens, and if they get through the top order, then again there will be a lot more pressure on the middle order, Ross and Sangha. And I think Thunder will bring in cutting today after the first couple of batting performances. They might replace him with Oliver Davis. They might bring him in place of Oliver Davis. Oliver Davis is someone young, talented player, but he is someone who should be batted in the 7 to 16 over mark. But they are not able to do that, and they are playing him down the order, which is of no use to anyone involved.
So if like you said, if the 2020 plus version of Docklands shows up today, we could be in
Hmm.
for the first game where they score in excess of 200 plus, maybe.
Yeah, there's a good chance that happens. And Hales and Rosso, if they click, they get if they get lucky through the first 3 to 4 hours, then there is a lot of things that could go down today.
Because it's game seven, the first game which does not have a quality, I mean, the express pace kind of a bowling attack to make a
Mm,
position uncomfortable during the middle overs. So this could be a
yeah,
game where the middle order could blossom, setting the stage for explosive slog overs for the team
yeah.
batting first.
The funny thing with both these teams, they neither have express pace nor leg spin as well. So
Yeah.
chances are that if the deck is good, then we can see runs today.
Yeah, so going back to the Docklands sheet, so I was just reading about the Docklands stadium. So it's called the Marvel Stadium. So very interestingly,
Mm,
and it's, I think, one of the very few stadiums, or maybe the only stadium, cricket stadium, which has got a retractable roof.
yeah, it's something that I think they've got some kind of contract with Marvel, which is why they're named Marvel, and they also have the roof, which makes it like rain. It's rain irrelevant. It could be raining, and it wouldn't affect the game at all.
Yeah, because that's one area, most of the stadiums may want to go, given how
Mm,
much rain impact the World Cup had.
yeah, and there's a talk about climate change impact as well. So although
Yeah.
it has budget concerns.
So a place like Abu Dhabi or Dubai has got a permanent roof. It never rains there. So we see
Yeah.
more and more 2020 tournaments being played in conditions which
Mm,
gives more predictable weather pattern, because there is so much that's
mm,
riding on television viewership and advertising, and these
yeah,
cancelled games can really impact the business model of these 2020 tournaments.
true.
And also, it's one of the stadiums which is multi-purpose. So it's primarily an Australian rules football stadium, and I think for that they need to have a rectangular seating setup, and the
Interesting.
stadium has got the flexibility. So it's a cricket
Mm,
stadium; they can make it oval, and then have fewer seating capacity, about 44, 45,000. And for an American rules football game, they can make it rectangular, have a higher
mm.
seating capacity of about 55,000. So these are some of the interesting trivia about the Dockland Stadium. This is the first time I'm going to follow a game that's going to be played there. So let me bring up FanX. Probably it's a good time to look at the performance of
Yeah.
our yesterday's contest
Mm.
and then get ready for the toss. So are we about few minutes away from
I
the
think
toss now?
toss is done, and Sydney Thunder are batting first.
Oh, that's interesting. So say bring it up. FanX is an app that's available on fanex.in. You can
Mm.
download the app, and once you download the app, you get 500 free coins to play contests. For the first contest, it's absolutely free. You don't even have to put in the coins. You automatically can enter the contest. And then there are a lot of other contests you can join with coins. And lately, we've been running contests where you just have to put in 25 coins to participate, and we've been giving out cash prizes on Fanex.
Yeah.
So let me bring
And
that app up. And would you like to talk to our viewers about your favorite app, Al?
yeah, Fanex is basically we have three different types of contests so far. So that shows the variety that it can have, and there are plenty more categories that are going to come up, and we are going to start cash contest in a week as well. So the thing is, with unlike other fantasy apps, all you need to do is pick three players at max. That's what we have done so far. The categories could be different. Some days you need to predict who is going to score the most runs. Some day you need to predict who is going to bowl the most dots. Some day it's just going to be who predict who is going to hit more sixes today. For example, for the game today, all we have is a couple of picks. Predict who is going to score the most runs and predict who is going to take the most wickets. It's a very simple one, and you all you need to do is enter both your picks and you're in. And after the game is completed, you could see the results.
Great. So let me bring up the app, and then let's play Fanex. So if you're a cricket fan or a fantasy cricket player, Fanex is a very simple app, a very fun app, very engaging app. You could play fantasy on. So that's where I am. Just downloaded the app. So today's contest I just spoke about. We already have 50 participants. So it's a contest which can have up to 100 participants. So 50 more people can join this contest. If you look at the price structure, um, the winner takes home 250 rupees. The second place to the fifth place, tied winners, they get 100 rupees each. And the seventh to 11th, they get 50 rupees each. So it's cash for playing with just coins. So
And this is
I'm
something
just
we'll
going to
be needing very soon because of the private leagues that we are going to run. So it's an easy chance to convert those coins into cash.
yeah. So today we're just going to pick just a run scored and wickets taken. So we discussed in detail about all the players on both the teams. So Sydney Thunder's batting first. It's time to pick up the batsman who will score the maximum number of runs. So I'm going to go with Andrew Russell today. Where I think the conditions are best suited for him to come up with a 20 ball 60.
Yeah.
Who's your option?
I'm thinking because this choosing a batter in these two teams is not easy. So I think I'm just going to go in with Aaron Finch.
That's a good
Or maybe
choice.
to break the pack, I could choose Jonathan Wells as well, but I think I'll play. I've already chosen Aaron Finch. So that's where it is. So we'll move on to
Okay.
the bowler. Bowler, what I'll be looking for is someone who bowls second because of the bat first bias here. So from Sydney Thunder, the best option is obviously Fazal Faruqi. Considering we only have two different measures today, it could be we could see a lot of tie. So I recommend viewers to try someone like John Wells or Riley Rosso, who will be owned by lesser number of managers, and break the pack and take the first spot.
Yeah, that's a very good insight. So I'm going to go with Akil Hussain, just my recency bias because he picked 3 wickets last game. And I think here, again, Sydney Thunders will try to accelerate, trying to post a big score because they don't know what's a good score if they're actually getting to runs. And Akil Hussain bowling the middle overs, if they try to give him the charge, could again pick up a few wickets today.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a game of skill. So you need to know the playing conditions, the recent performance of players, and the detailed analysis, the team analysis and the venue analysis to be able to make your picks. So as you're discussing, I think we have already had Five more participants have joined the contest. There are other contests you could join. They're all in the lobby. There is an India women's, Australia women's game starting in a couple of days. So the India Bangladesh game just got concluded. Kuldeep Yadav picked up the man of the match. So the next game is on Dhaka. So it's a slower pitch compared to the Chattogram pitch. So you expect slow bowlers to be in wickets there as well. So there you pick up a player who would score a century, fielding a number of catches, stumpings, and the player will take the maximum number of wickets. So there is another contest for the same game. There are two contests. One is for 1,000 rupees, another one for 2,000 rupees. So the 2,000 rupees contest is fast filling up. There are already 120 participants out of
Wow.
150. Yeah, so it just takes you 60 coins to play. So again, you pick the player who will score the maximum number of runs. I think in the just concluded game, it was Cheteshwar Pujara. Between two innings, he scored 190 plus runs. So he will continue to carry his good form into the second test as well. And again, the same parameters, fielding and wickets. So the Australia South Africa game just got done, so I won coins.
Wow.
So because I picked up Rabada in my team, so which did well. So as you see, I entered with 10 coins. This is the topmost game you'll see in the history, and I won 45 coins. So click on view. So I finished sixth. So this is a good way for you to keep accumulating more coins. Also play games contest that has got coins. And as you can see, I won because I Rabada picked up 4 wickets in the second innings, and if not for the Travis Head, you know, scoring 90 odd runs in the first innings, South Africa would have had a lot more runs to bowl at. It would have
Yeah.
been a much more closer game than what it turned out to be. Game just got over in 2 days, with a lot of grass on the wicket, I guess, which assisted the fast bowlers. But nevertheless, both the teams have world class fast bowlers. So again, there are two contests. There is a cash contest for the Australia South Africa game starting the second test match starting in 7 days. I think that's a Boxing Day test match, and then there is a coin contest as well. So great. So enjoy today's game, Al. That brings us to the end of our show today.
Sure. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
I already made that betting call before the show. So hope I'm continuing a good run here. So hopefully today will
You're the
be
first
the
one to get a hat trick in the BBL.
yeah, it'll be the fourth one. I already did the hat trick.
Okay.
I mean, Sean Pollock,
Oh, yeah.
Lucinta, that's Kamalinga territory now.
Okay.
All right, you have a fantastic day ahead. Nice talking to
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.